Indian Army categorically denies reports about detention of Indian soldiers at India-China border, describes such reports as unsubstantiated that hurt national interests. Domestic flight operations commence nationwide from tomorrow, except in the state of Maharashtra. West Bengal and Tamil Nadu governments also propose a deferment of the flights till the 31st of May. Other states announced quarantine norms for returnees. India to restart international passenger flights before August. Oneday Bharat mission continues. Flights carrying stranded Indian nationals from London and Muscat reach India. Relief and rescue operations continue in cyclone-affected West Bengal and Odisha. Indian Army deploys 5 columns in Kolkata. 10 additional NDRF teams reach West Bengal, taking the total deployment to 36 teams across 6 districts. The Lashkar-e-Taiba terror module is busted in Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam. 4 terror associates arrested from Bhirwa. India continues to battle against COVID-19. Active cases reach 73,560, while 54,440 recoveries have been registered. However, fatalities stand at 3,867. The fight against COVID-19 continues across the globe. More than 53 lakh infected with the deadly virus. The death toll breaches 3,42,000 mark. Brazil is the second most affected nation after the United States. Namaskar and welcome to the news. I'm Mark Lynn. Let's begin with our top story. The Indian Army has categorically denied the reports that the Indian soldiers were detained at borders with China. This is absolutely baseless, says the government and the army. In a statement, the Indian Army has denied the reports about the detainment of its troops by Chinese soldiers, calling them inaccurate. The army spokesperson cautioned the media not to publish such unsubstantiated reports and said that they hurt national interests. Earlier on Friday, the Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane visited Leh, the headquarters of the 14 Corps in Ladakh, and reviewed deployment of forces along the line of actual control. And Amritpal Singh now joins us with an update on this story. Well, Amrit, fill us in with the details. This report that has been denied, where did it originate from, and why was it doing the rounds?
Mark, what had happened was that since last evening, some television channels and media houses had been flashing news saying that Indian soldiers had been detained by the Chinese People's Liberation Army about a week back, and they were, some reports said they were ITBP soldiers, other reports said they were Indian Army soldiers, and they were detained, their weapons were taken, and later, however, local commanders spoke to each other, they were let off. Yes. And these reports were quoting unnamed sources. Now the army has reacted strongly to it today, saying that there has been no detention of Indian soldiers at the borders. I'm quoting what the army statement is. I'm quoting from the army statement. We categorically deny this. It only hurts national interests when media outlets publish unsubstantiated news. This is what the army spokesperson has said. So basically, there has been no detention of the Indian soldiers at the borders with China. So the army clearly, saying that there was no such incident that took place that was reported in the media.
So it's a categorical denial, but it's also, a note of caution to the media that unsubstantiated reports should not be published. To what extent is this happening in the media, would you say, at a time like this when, perhaps the news has been focused heavily on COVID, people are looking for other kinds of news, and they are just, probably not verifying stories and just putting them on the air?
That's right, Mark. What happens is that, as you know, we have a unresolved border with China. but there is a mechanism to resolve that border. And there are times when the troops of both sides come face to face, and some sort of tensions do build up. One understands that such kind of tensions had built up after the Chinese had accused the Indian soldiers of transgressing into their area and trying to change the status quo, to which the Indian External Affairs Ministry had reacted, saying that there is no such attempt on our sides, and we will follow all protocols that are defined under the border resolution mechanism. Now, the media then picked that up, started reporting the story about building of tensions. So, yes. In that, series of stories that have been published for more than a week now, yesterday the story started surfacing, saying that Indian soldiers had also been detained, but however they were let off. Now, the army has categorically denied that and said that publishing such news hurts national interests. Now, what happens is that when troops are there is a border. As you know, there have been yes. 2 rounds of informal talks between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where it was stressed that the border resolution mechanism needs to be strengthened further, and we already have a special representative level talks going on. Many yes. rounds have taken place, and also protocols have been put in place at the local level, where local commanders can talk to each other and resolve issues where troops from both sides pull back and don't get into a face-off with each other. Now, these mechanisms are in place, but what happens is that when media starts reporting, there is a perception that is built that right. The other side or a particular country is doing aggressive posturing. Now, that is when situation gets complicated. And I think the army's denial and also the army's suggestion to the media about not publishing unverified and unsubstantiated news in national interest is in that context.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Amrit, perhaps you can shed a little more light on the agreements that India has with China. There is, it has been peaceful to a large extent, the border, because of certain instruments, as you say, that have been put in place, which have been maintained with the countries have only fought one war, but this has been there's an idea about, let's say, this is an area which is under discussion. It's a boundary question, as we call it. It's not quite a dispute. So in that sense, there is talk that's going on at the special representative level. There's an exchange of maps, but there's also an understanding that there would be no aggression.
That's right, Mark. We have a 3,000 something kilometers long border with China, which is disputed. Both sides don't agree to the border-China contest, the McMahon line, which was decided in 1918 between Tibetan authorities. China believes that Arunachal is a part of South Tibet. India contests that. India says that Arunachal is a part of Indian territory, yes. and things like that. Now, there is a mechanism in place which has held, a number of rounds of talks between the Indian Special Representative is National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. Wang Yi is the SR from the Chinese side. They've met many times. When the 2 prime ministers met, first in Wuhan for the first informal summit, and then at Mamlapuram for the second informal summit, it was reiterated that strategic guidance be given to both militaries to resolve any kind of a face-off or a situation of conflict that may arise at the borders, yes. and till the border question is resolved. Now, because border question is a complicated question, it requires mapping, things like that, and it requires perception. Now, the Indian troops would have a perception that the Indian border starts from here.
Right, Amrit, we seem to have lost our line with Amrit Pal Singh, but thanks very much for helping us understand this situation. Moving on to our next story then, domestic flight operations will resume from tomorrow after remaining suspended for about 2 months following the nationwide lockdown imposed to constrain the COVID-19 pandemic. As India is set to resume its domestic civil aviation operations, the Delhi airport will be handling around 380 flights on Monday. All the domestic flights flying from Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport will operate from Terminal 3. Entry gates, self-check-in machines and check-in bays will be allocated to airlines to avoid overcrowding by air travelers at the airport. However, Maharashtra has deferred flight operations till the 31st of this month. The state government has clarified that it has not amended its lockdown order dated May 19 and will not allow air travel till the end of the month. West Bengal has meanwhile proposed to defer flight operations for a few more days. States like Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Punjab and Chhattisgarh have said that passengers entering to the states, even on domestic flights, will be quarantined. Meanwhile, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said that Airport Authority and airline companies are all set to restart international flight operations. He, however, said that flight operations will commence only after evaluating the COVID pandemic status. Now, considering a resumption of air travel in the graded manner from tomorrow, Airports Authority of India has issued departure guidelines for special attention of passengers. According to the departure guidelines, the passengers must reach the airport 2 hours before scheduled time. They must wear required protective gear like masks and gloves. The passengers must arrive at the airport via personal and authorized vehicle. Only one check-in and one hand baggage are allowed. Elderly and pregnant ladies and children should avoid air travel for now. The use of a trolley is restricted. Compulsory walk-through screening zone for thermal screening before entering the terminal building. Social distancing markers must be respected. Ensure web check-in and also get a boarding pass. Information on social distancing and personal protection are displayed on display boards. Posters and standees must be followed. Download the baggage tag or baggage identification number, print it and stick it on the baggage. Well, the government is bringing home Indians who are stranded in foreign countries. This is a mission called the Vande Bharat mission. An Air India flight carrying 132 stranded Indians from Muscat from Muscat reached Gaya International Airport this morning, and out of these passengers, 116 are from Bihar, while 16 are from Jharkhand. The passengers of Jharkhand have been sent to their state by a special bus. Passengers who came today were sent to quarantine for 14 days. The state government has arranged hotels for the passengers. 6 flights have so far been scheduled to land at Gaya Airport. These flights will come till the 3rd of next month.
देखिए, ये जो स्पेशल जो प्लेन आया है वो वंदे भारत मिशन के तहत आया है और मस्कट से आया है, ओमान से आया है, जिसमें करीब 132 पैसेंजर्स, जिसमें 116 बिहार के और 16 पैसेंजर्स झारखंड के हैं और जिसमें 2 बच्चे भी हैं। ये सुनिश्चित किया जा रहा है कि इनकी सभी आवश्यक जो ज़रूरतें हैं उनका यहाँ पर पूरी की जाए और साथ में ही ये भी सुनिश्चित किया जा रहा है कि इनका अल्टरनेटिव डेज पे मेडिकल चेकअप भी होगा। यहाँ पर जितने लोग आए हैं उनमें से कोई भी व्यक्ति अभी किसी का लक्षण नहीं दिखा है।
And another special flight has landed at the Indore airport. This is from London and London to Mumbai today under the Vande Bharat mission. 93 passengers on the plane have reached Indore, and all the passengers have gone through the thermal screening at the airport. No one was asymptomatic.
वंदे भारत मिशन के तहत आज इंदौर एयरपोर्ट पे एक एयर इंडिया की फ़्लाइट आई जो मुंबई से यहाँ आई थी और लंदन से काफ़ी सारे यात्री इसमें रहे। टोटल 93 पैसेंजर्स इंदौर उतरे हैं, जिसमें से अलग अलग स्टेट्स के भी पैसेंजर्स रहे हैं। इनमें से सभी पैसेंजर्स को स्क्रीनिंग कर ली गई। 93 पैसेंजर्स की स्क्रीनिंग में कहीं पर कोई भी सिम्टमेटिक और ऐसा कोई भी यात्री नहीं पाया गया। सारे यात्री नॉर्मल पाए गए और इन यात्रियों में से जो भी यात्री अलग अलग स्टेट जहां जाना चाहते हैं उन यात्रियों के लिए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के द्वारा व्यवस्थाएं पूरी कराई गई थी। वो यहां से तत्काल उनका ई पास बन रहा था और पास के माध्यम से वो लोग अपने अपने जिलों पर पहुंच सकते हैं।
Mission Vande Bharat has become a mission of hope and happiness for thousands of Indians who were stranded abroad and in distress. Mohammed Gufran is one such stranded Indian who has been repatriated to Lucknow from Dubai through the special flight under the Vande Bharat mission. Gufran said that he was stranded in Dubai, where he was consistently in contact with officials of the Indian consulate who provided every possible assistance to him during this appalling situation. He expressed his gratitude to the officials of the Indian consulate.
मैं एक एजेंट के थ्रू आया था दुबई काम के सिलसिले में। उसने विजिट का वीज़ा लगाया था और आने के बाद अगले दिन लॉकडाउन हो गया। 3 महीने से मैं बिना रूम के और बिना खाना पीने के बिना सुविधा के हूँ मैं यहाँ पर, और मेरी मदद काउंसलेट हेल्प कर रही है।
In a major success, the Budgam police and the army have arrested a top LET terror associate, Wasim Ghaini, and this is along with 3 others during a cordon and search operation. The terror associates have been identified as Wasim Ghani, Farooq Ahmad Dar, Mohammad Yasin and Azharuddin Mir. All are residents of Kandura, Birwa. Arms, ammunition and other incriminating material have been recovered from their possession. The group was involved in providing shelter and logistics support to terrorists in the area. Relief and rescue operations continue in cyclone-affected West Bengal and Odisha. The NDRF, along with the State Disaster Management Force, is working around the clock. This is to restore normal life. Meanwhile, 10 additional NDRF teams have reached West Bengal for speeding up of restoration work. West Bengal government had earlier requested NDRF to deploy additional teams. The additional teams brought the total of NDRF's of team deployment across 6 districts of West Bengal for the affected states, the affected areas of Cyclone Amphan to 36 teams. The Indian Army has also deployed 5 columns in Kolkata to help authorities in restoring basic infrastructure and clearing roads in the wake of the Amphan cyclone. Let's now take a look at the latest data on COVID across the country. This is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's data. Active cases are 73,560. Those cured and discharged 54,440. And the number of deaths 3,867. The total recovery rate has now reached 41.39%, inching upwards towards that 50% margin which shows coexistence with the virus. And these are different states. Maharashtra 47,190, Tamil Nadu 15,512, Gujarat is at 13,664 and Delhi at 12,910 cases. These are the top 4 regions where the virus is prevalent. The first Sunday curfew imposed by the Karnataka government to try and contain the spread of COVID-19 was underway across the state. People by and large are adhering to the norms, while roads are wearing a deserted look, and almost there's no vehicular traffic seen barring essential services. With barricades being up across most roads in the state, people have ventured out only to purchase groceries, vegetables and medicines. So Bengaluru, the ever-bustling majestic area which houses the central city bus stand, inter-city bus stand, metro railway station and the city railway station, did not see any activity at all as the buses did not ply and all shops were shut. The Karnataka government had eased restrictions during the lockdown for the start of economic activities like city buses, inter-district bus service, interstate train services, opening of shops and markets. However, the government has has made it clear that there will be a Janata curfew every Sunday, during which only essential services will be permitted. And the Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has hailed the 15-year-old girl Jyoti, who cycled almost 1,200 kilometers from Haryana's Gurugram to her hometown in Bihar's Darbhanga, with her injured father riding pillion amid the lockdown. Talking to Twitter, Prasad said that he was moved by the girl's courage and determination, and also asked the Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju to provide full support to the girl and develop her as a cyclist if she's interested. Meanwhile, the Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju has assured the Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Rijiju tweeted saying that he will ask the SAI officials and the Cycling Federations of India to report to him after conducting the trials of Jyoti Kumari, and he further said that if found potential, she will be selected as a trainee at the National Cycling Academy in the IGI Stadium complex in New Delhi. Some international news now. The global COVID-19 death toll has surpassed 3.4 lakh mark, while the number of cases from across the world has crossed 53 lakhs, 5.3 million that is. And as per the latest data, the global death toll has stood at 3,42,141. The US currently accounts for the highest number of coronavirus deaths in the world at 97,087. It's followed by the United Kingdom with 36,757 fatalities. The other countries with over 20,000 deaths are Italy, Spain, France and Brazil. Well, back home, Eid ul-Fitr is being celebrated. In fact, will be celebrated in most parts of the country on Monday. Jama Masjid's Shahi Imam Saeed Ahmed Bukhari announced that Eid ul-Fitr will be celebrated on May 25, as the moon was not visible on Saturday. One of the most significant festivals that is celebrated by the Muslim community around the world, Eid ul-Fitr, marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, especially the month-long fasting from sunrise to sunset. And with that, we conclude this news bulletin. Thanks for your company. Namaskar.